The year 1984 was a big change for our favorite web slinger, the Amazing Spider Man, and it all started right here in issue number 251 with the unmasking of the Hobgoblin and this great battle here. The title is Endings, and yes, 1984 definitely had an ending for Spider-Man for sure, because Spider-Man's life is going to forever be changed after this particular issue. We see just some great stuff by Tom DeFalco and the great Ron Frenz, who basically they worked together on the Amazing Spider-Man title in the year 1984. And Spider-Man and Hobgoblin have one heck of a battle here. They are fighting each other in this battle van. And yes, folks, Spider-Man's life is about to change forever here as he battles the Hobgoblin. And he still, at this point, readers in 1984 did not know who the Hobgoblin was. And that's the big mystery surrounding his identity. And he definitely was one of the keynote figures and villains of the Amazing Spider-Man title in 1984. Readers were just amazed at how Spider-Man, no matter how many times he comes up against the Hobgoblin, would always fall short. Hobgoblin would always get away. Well, we see that van is going to plummet into this river here. Spider-Man tries to locate the whereabouts of the Hobgoblin, and all he can come up with is his mask. And so there's this now mystery surrounding where the heck did Hobgoblin go? Is he dead? But we're going to take a pause on the life of Hobgoblin and the mystery surrounding him when Spider-Man goes into Central Park. And like I told y'all, 1984 is going to be a huge change for our favorite web slinger as he comes across this gigantic platform here where he is then whisked away on Battleworld. And this starts the Secret Wars saga. In the following issue, readers come across something they've never seen before. Spider-Man is wearing a brand new costume. What is this? Why is he not in his classic red and blue duds? Well, they will soon find out as they began reading the Secret Wars series, and in issue number 8, Spider-Man's costume was damaged on that new planet, and he needed to get it repaired. And when he went to get it changed, he came across this alien-like suit. And we're going to see in the next issue exactly what I'm talking about as to what we mean by alien. And of course, this is my graded copy, an 8.5 of issue 252. Got it graded for you know why, as a key issue. But Spider-Man's life is going to be forever changed as he is going to learn how to adapt with this new costume. In issue number 253, we see a brand new villain. This is the first appearance of a brand new villain called the Rose. And this issue is really important because, like I said, we're going to see exactly what this new costume can do for Peter Parker. This is an okay story for the most part. It features this professional football player. But what you really need to come away with this issue is just kind of looking at how Spider-Man is adapting to this new costume. He loves it for the most part. As you can see, he can change at will pretty much. He can just think about he needs to change to his Spider-Man duds, and out comes that alien suit. And it can also take the form of a ordinary clothing as well. And so this is a very unique costume, to say the least. And so that's very important as readers began to just delve into the mystery surrounding Spider-Man's new costume. But what we really need to know about this issue in particular, and it adds more drama to the life of Peter Parker, is that Peter Parker is going to reveal some sudden news to his aunt. And what he tells her basically is that he has decided to drop out of college. And Aunt May does not take this well. She has thought so hard and thought so highly of Peter Parker. Peter's always been a whiz at science. She always thought that he would use his knowledge and become a scientist. But she's basically saying that he's thrown it all away. And Peter Parker is left with regret because he's like, what have I done? I've told my only aunt that I've dropped out of college, and now she doesn't want to talk to me. And then we're also going to see in this issue Spider-Man reflecting on his relationship with the Black Cat. And I don't have that issue, but in Spectacular Spider-Man number 90, while Spider-Man was whisked away on Battleworld fighting with the other heroes, he didn't know that the Black Cat gained new powers, and she's keeping that as a secret, hiding it away from Spider-Man. And so that's all you really need to know about this issue. And let's go ahead and look at the first appearance of the Rose here. And he is going to definitely play a big role in this year, as he basically is trying to fight his way to becoming the new kingpin of crime. So he definitely has a vendetta out, and he doesn't like Wilson Fisk. Meanwhile, in 1984, in the Spectacular Spider-Man title, we see that Spider-Man is going to mainly focus on his relationship with the Black Cat, as he still doesn't know that the Black Cat has gained these new bad luck powers, and she gets to use these bad luck powers on none other than X-Men villain The Blob here in this issue right here. And then in the following issue, in issue number 92, we see a brand new first appearance of a villain called The Answer. And who is The Answer? Basically, The Answer works for Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, and Wilson Fisk tells The Answer to go on assignment here, and he's basically going to observe Spider-Man and Black Cat's relationship. He wants to know everything he needs to know about his sworn enemy, Spider-Man, because Spider-Man has been a longtime foe to the Kingpin. And as you can see, Spider-Man is heavily involved with the Black Cat. He's been dating her for a year now, and she is just in love with Spider-Man's new costume. She loves it. And as you can see, he can create an opening right here so that they can kiss. But as you see here, also in this drama, we have the mystery surrounding the whereabouts of Flash Thompson. He comes home with a bloody nose, and so there's this drama surrounding why is Flash Thompson going out, and not telling Shawshan, his girlfriend, where he's going. But as you can see, this is a great story, because Spider-Man is going to go up against The Answer. The Black Cat is making trouble for Peter Parker's life because she knows where he lives. People can definitely see the Black Cat outside of his window, so that risks his secret identity. And they go up against none other than The Answer here, which is a really unique villain here. They fight the Answer here, and they seem to get the upper hand on The Answer, and the Black Cat is fighting The Answer too, and he notices that she has her bad luck powers, and it definitely has caused him to be defeated here with Spider-Man's webbing. But one thing you need to notice about this issue in particular is that Black Cat's power kind of affects Peter Parker as well, as he bumps his knee on this chimney stack. And so what is going on here? Why would Black Cat's power affect Spider-Man, the man that she loves? That's something that will be explored in later issues of the Spectacular Spider-Man. In the next issue, number 93, we see the return of The Answer, and this time he has kidnapped the Black Cat Spider-Man had told the Black Cat to basically, she needs to stay at home. She doesn't need to get involved with crime fighting because he's trying to be a protective boyfriend. But the answer uses this to his advantage, this insecurity of Peter Parker, and kidnaps Black Cat here in this amazing cover right here. And so this is definitely a good read right here. And then in the Amazing Spider-Man title, Spider-Man goes up against this, in the cover, we don't know who it is, but it's revealed as the Jack-O-Lantern. And Jack-O-Lantern learns a great deal about basically Spider-Man's new abilities. He's wearing a brand new costume. He's faster. He's stronger. And Jack-O-Lantern learns in this issue that, dang, Spider-Man is a worthy foe after all. And Spider-Man's main motive in this issue is to look about on the whereabouts of the Hobgoblin. He's searching that van that the Hobgoblin was riding in issue number 251, and the Hobgoblin is missing. He's just, we don't know where he's at. And so that's what's going on in these two issues as 1984 continues to roll on. In Spectacular Spider-Man number 94, we are revealed that the Kingpin has even greater motives here, as he's going to bring Silvermane back to life in this robotic armor. He's going to be alive as he and the Answer are looking on right here. And why does the Kingpin want to bring Silvermane back from the dead? Well, the reason, as we will soon find out, is that the Kingpin's wife, Vanessa Fisk, is laying ill, and she needs some kind of light energy to be revived. And the Kingpin knows that Cloak and Dagger could play a big role in reviving his wife and bringing her back to good health. And so the return of Silvermane is a huge deal right now. And so we are going to see in the Spectacular Spider-Man run here in 1984, Cloak and Dagger are going to make a number of appearances here in 1984, as Cloak and Dagger are these new vigilantes who are trying to bust crime here in New York City. Meanwhile, there's more investigation going on with Flash Thompson and his absences, and Shawshan goes to Harry and Peter to tell them exactly what's going on. And so, yes, y'all, it looks like the Kingpin is definitely going to get his way here. Meanwhile, drama is starting to unfold between Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and the Black Cat, as it seems like they're not getting along and being cozy as they once were. And Spider-Man is getting very paranoid here. He's very tired of having to look after Black Cat and how careless she's been. And so, yeah, y'all, here we go with Silvermane, and we're going to find out a lot more about what happens next in the following issue. And then we see in the Amazing Spider-Man run, in issue number 255, we are revealed a first appearance here, which is the first appearance of Black Fox. Spider-Man goes up against the Red Ghost, and Black Fox, this old man here who is basically like a spy. He's like a criminal that gets away a lot of times. He makes his first appearance in this issue. It's a really fun read. Definitely check it out. In the next two issues of the Spectacular Spider-Man, we see more drama unfolds here as Dagger is kidnapped by Silvermane and brought back to Wilson Fisk headquarters, where her power is going to be tried to be used to revive his dying wife. And then in issue number 96, the story concludes, and just a spoiler warning, since I've been spoiling a lot of things in this video, the answer gives his life. He dies in this issue, and the Kingpin does not get his way. And so this is a very important issue because basically Kingpin sees Spider-Man as a bigger threat than anything he's ever thought of. He hates Spider-Man after this issue. His vendetta to destroy Spider-Man has just gotten stronger here. And in the following issues of The Amazing Spider-Man, we're going to learn just exactly what Kingpin's plans is to destroy Spider-Man. Meanwhile, in the Amazing Spider-Man run, we see a first appearance again, and this time of Puma. 1984 had a lot of first appearances, and Puma makes his first appearance. He is this brand new villain, and this is a great issue. By far, one of the greater issues of the year, as Spider-Man is going to jump on these villains here, these people who are basically doing bad things, as always. And we see here that the Black Cat is going to help Peter Parker with his photography skills. Lo and behold, she's actually a really good photographer. And Spider-Man's using that to his advantage as he's fighting these criminals here. And her photography is going to be so good that it's going to get the notice of Robbie Robertson. And so this is a really cool issue. A lot of things unfold here, and the Black Cat is going to learn a lot about her boyfriend here, the Amazing Spider-Man, as he returns to his apartment, and they kiss, of course, but she just is going to notice here that why is Peter Parker so tired all of a sudden? He's feeling so tired. Well, in the Spectacular Spider-Man run, which I didn't show y'all, this alien suit has been basically using Spider-Man at night while he's asleep. He's been so exhausted that he's been web-swinging as Spider-Man, unbeknownst to him. And so this alien costume, there's a big mystery surrounding it, and we're going to learn a lot more as the issues unfold here. But let's look at the first appearance of the Puma here. Puma is hired by the Rose, and he's basically telling Puma here that he needs to assassinate the Amazing Spider-Man. So that's what he is. He's been hired as this vigilante, this, villain here to go after Spider-Man here. And also we're going to see Mary Jane pop up in the life of Peter Parker as well. So that's really cool, and that's going to play an important part in the following Amazing Spider-Man issues. But what we need to know about this issue is that Spider-Man injures his arm here as he falls on it, and that's going to definitely affect how he's going to fight the Puma in the following issue. In number 257 of The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man goes up against the Puma, of course. This is a continuation of the last issue, and this is one heck of a battle. Black Cat gets involved to save her boyfriend here. He doesn't know, Puma doesn't know that Black Cat has her special powers, her bad luck powers. That works to her advantage. And Spider-Man is able to get a moment of reprieve here. He's going to then return to his apartment. The Puma is going to be searching for Spider-Man. He has his scent on him. Puma is much like Kraven the Hunter in the fact that he's able to study the maneuvers, the battle techniques of Spider-Man. But Puma's going to be out and waiting, and Black Cat sees, Spider-Man's alien symbiote suit snake across the ground and then goes back to the chair. Meanwhile, we see Kingpin is going to learn that the Rose has been doing things and trying to assassinate Spider-Man without his permission. So the Kingpin definitely is not happy about that. But in this issue, we're going to see the Puma is going to return, and Mary Jane makes an appearance here. And she comes at a very bad time here because she's wanting to hang out with Peter Parker, but Puma is letting off, Peter Parker's spider sense. He then shoves Mary Jane out of the room to save her life so she doesn't get in the midst of this battle here. And, I mean, this one heck of a battle. She's screaming on the top of her lungs, trying to get in. Spider-Man's trying to get out. He has this big battle. Kingpin then meets up with the Rose, and the Rose is left with no other choice but to do things the Kingpin's way. But Spider-Man has one heck of a battle here. They fight. This is a very entertaining issue, by the way. Definitely worth the read here. And so the Puma learns that Spider-Man is one heck of a foe. He's a very worthy foe. And he goes back and tells the Rose's men that, he wasn't able to assassinate Spider-Man after all. So the contract has been eliminated. But we see right here, y'all, the return of the Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin, in fact, is not dead. And he's willing to work with the Rose to take down Spider-Man and as well help the Rose go up in power. But one thing in particular that we should know in this issue is that Mary Jane reveals to Peter Parker that she has known for a long time that he is in fact Spider-Man. That's a huge deal, and this is why, in particular, issue number 257 is very important to the Spider-Man mythos. In issue number 258 of The Amazing Spider-Man, this is a very important issue. Spider-Man is going to learn exactly what this alien symbiote suit, the suit that he picked off of Battle World in the Secret Wars series, he's going to learn a lot about it in this issue. But this issue picks up right off where last issue ended, with Mary Jane revealing to Peter Parker that she has known for a long time that he is in fact Spider-Man. She has kind of guessed for a long time that he's Spider-Man, but hasn't had the guts to confront him about it. And while they're having this very important conversation and she's, all choked up with tears, Black Cat comes in through the window. So now Mary Jane knows that her former boyfriend, Peter Parker, is dating the Black Cat. And so she's about to just, lose her mind. She says, "Goodbye, Peter." Peter's all just like, wait. And he said, "Please don't go." And so Black Cat definitely has showed up at a bad timing here, as Peter Parker definitely doesn't appreciate Black Cat once again, almost revealing his secret identity to the whole world as she keeps leaping through his apartment window. But like I said, y'all, this issue in particular is very important because Spider-Man is going to learn all he needs to know about that symbiote suit. You see, Peter Parker as Spider-Man is reflecting on everything that's been going on lately with his relationship with Aunt May, who's not talking to him. His relationship with the Black Cat is getting very shaky. And, of course, he just can't help but be so exhausted after fighting Jack-O-Lantern, the Rose, and, of course, the Hobgoblin. And so Peter Parker has decided, you know what, after having this very bad nightmare where he's fighting as, Spider-Man in the red costume and the symbiote costume, he wakes up in this feverish nightmare and he needs to pay a visit to the Baxter Building, which is the headquarters of, the Fantastic Four. He's been meaning to stop by for some time. And he needs to talk with Reed Richards because Reed Richards can definitely be able to analyze the symbiote suit and tell Spider-Man exactly what it is. Meanwhile, we see the Hobgoblin is going to be working for the Rose this time, and he's basically going to be going his way around all of these mobsters telling them that they need to work with him. Otherwise, he's going to make hell for them. So the Kingpin doesn't know that the Hobgoblin is working for the Rose. Well, Reed Richards finally has his answer, and he tells Spider-Man that the suit is alive. The symbiote suit is alive, and it is basically trying to mentally and physically take over Spider-Man's body. And so Spider-Man's like, get it off of me, as you see he's jumping around here. And we see that Reed Richards is going to use this sonar gun, and it basically is going to leap off of Peter Parker's body. We see then that they're going to encapsulate it into this tube here where that symbiote suit is going to be housed in the Baxter building for a period of time. Well, Peter Parker doesn't have a costume to swing out the window, so he has to borrow an old Fantastic Four costume, and this is the first appearance of the Bombastic Bagman. So it's a really unique issue here. This is why this is, in particular, a key issue. And so, yes, folks, that's what happens in this issue, and we're going to see in the next issue, in issue number 259, Spider-Man is going to return into his classic costume, and we see the origin story of Mary Jane Watson, and Spider-Man's going to go back and try to hunt down the Hobgoblin. Meanwhile, in Spectacular Spider-Man, we see in number 97, Spider-Man is back in his classic costume, and he comes across this guy called the Hermit. This is an okay story. It's kind of like a throwaway issue. Nothing really of importance, doesn't really play into the main story. It's great to have, great read if you're a completist, but definitely you could probably skip over this issue. But in the Amazing Spider-Man run, we're going to see one of the greatest battles between Spider-Man and his nemesis, the Hobgoblin. When Spider-Man goes up against the Hobgoblin, he's basically threatening, Harry Osborn. He wants to know everything he needs to know about the original Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and he's threatening Harry Osborn, basically telling him, you need to retrieve any journals that you can find from your father. I need them so that I can begin to get some of the same gadgets that the original Green Goblin had. And then in the following issue, we're going to be revealed that, the Hobgoblin has kidnapped Mary Jane Watson and Liz Allen, which is the wife of Harry Osborn. And Liz Allen is very pregnant, and, her life is on the line here. I mean, the life of her baby as well. And it doesn't help that the Hobgoblin, it doesn't really give a crap that Liz Allen is very pregnant. And he's like, Mary Jane can help if, she begins to go into labor. And so things certainly are going to heat up in this issue as we see the Hobgoblin and the Rose have joined alliances here. And Hobgoblin is waiting for Harry Osborn to get anything that he can find from his father. And he has to break open this desk here just so he can find one journal. And he found it. And hopefully this will be enough to satisfy the Hobgoblin. Meanwhile, we see Spider-Man is swinging around town. He's trying to find Mary Jane and Liz Allen because he knows that they've been kidnapped. He's trying to locate them. He's helped. It's helped that he has his spider tracer so that he can finally go and save them. But meanwhile, we see that alien symbiote suit is going to escape its prison as this unknown entity here is going to telepathically reach out and it causes him, this alien suit, to escape. And that's going to play a big role in Spectacular Spider-Man, as we're soon going to find out. Hobgoblin is going to meet with Harry Osborn. He reads over it just a little bit, and basically that journal is worthless, as Hobgoblin is soon going to find out. So Spider-Man is finally going to get on the scene here, and he's going to fight the Hobgoblin. Harry Osborn is going to show up as well to save his wife. They are going to make a big escape. Spider-Man and Hobgoblin go at it here. This is a really great issue, by the way. And so Harry Osborn, for the sake of his pregnant wife, is going to play the hero here. He's going to build up some courage here by throwing some pumpkin bombs, but those pumpkin bombs are going to cause the whole place to go on fire. And Mary Jane almost blurts out Peter, almost revealing his identity here. And it looks like Liz Allen is starting to go into labor here just when all this is going down. Spider-Man puts on one heck of a fight here with the Hobgoblin, pummels him to death. He could turn the Hobgoblin in, but he knows that he needs to save Mary Jane Watson and Liz Allen from burning in this fire. So he had to leave Hobgoblin to do the right thing here. But meanwhile, the Hobgoblin is going to learn that that journal was worthless, and now he has no chance at all of ever knowing exactly any more secrets about the original Green Goblin. So that's very important to know. And to round out the year, we have this ridiculous cover right here, issue number 262. I mean, really, this is a bad cover, and it's a throwaway issue. If you're an Amazing Spider-Man completist like I am, it's good to have just to fill in your run, but you could definitely skip this issue because it doesn't tie into anything to the regular series or story. To end off this video, we're going to look at issues number 99 and 100 of Spectacular Spider-Man. Just to give you a brief summary of this book, we see the second appearance of the Spot in issue number 98, which I have stored away somewhere. We see the first appearance of the Spot. He had gained his powers here. He basically works for the Kingpin, and he's going to, try his best to, defeat Spider-Man, but Spider-Man is able to defeat the Spot. And then issue number 100 is the last issue that you should read if you are reading these stories, because in issue number 100 it's a huge deal. It's the 100th issue of the Spectacular Spider-Man, and a lot happens in this issue that needs to be highlighted here. So Spider-Man and the Black Cat are finally going to confront Kingpin and get to the bottom of this, as to why, Black Cat has had this, good luck with fighting crime. And, Kingpin is still, devastated that he can't do anything for his dying wife. He had tried to do the best he could by creating, Silvermane, getting him back to life. But the answer, he destroyed Silvermane, and that spoiled his whole plans of helping his wife. Well, Vanessa Fisk awakes, but of course she's delirious. Kingpin is so frustrated with Spider-Man especially, and that's going to definitely cause him to go more angry and have a bigger vendetta towards defeating Spider-Man. Well, Peter Parker is still recovering from, that nightmare where he, learned that alien symbiote suit had taken over his body. And if he hadn't have learned that from Reed Richards, that thing would have taken complete control of Spider-Man. And he gets a phone call from Shaw Shan, and he's going to go be a good friend for her. Well, Shawshan and Flash Thompson gets in a big fight here. Comes to find out here that Flash Thompson has been meeting secretly with his old buddies playing football. And lo and behold, he is having an affair with Betty Leeds. So that's a huge revelation right there. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is going to meet up with the Black Cat, and he gets a phone call from, tells her, hey, meet up with me. It's time that we confront Kingpin once and for all and get to the bottom of this. So Kingpin learns that, this guy right here, Owen, has been able to create spots, and he's like, he might be a formidable villain and a good person to fight Spider-Man. And so Spider-Man is going to fight the Spot again in this issue here. And so he definitely does. Meanwhile, the Black Cat is going to try to sneak in and have a conversation with Kingpin. And, Kingpin is the one that gave her powers, but she needs to ask him questions as to what those powers really do. What's the purpose of her powers? And so we have some great battle scenes here. Meanwhile, we see that the symbiote costume is going to snake its way into the apartment of Peter Parker. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Black Cat are going to be able to go inside the headquarters of the Kingpin here. And Kingpin basically is going to tell her that her powers have basically been used, and the purpose of her powers is to destroy Spider-Man. And the more that she gets involved with Spider-Man romantically, the more threat she's going to have on his health. And she's furious at this revelation. And she has to basically leave, and she's weeping. But Kingpin notices that Spider-Man is going through all of the Kingpin's men here. And he's then going to fight the Kingpin. And, he goes toe-to-toe with him. I mean, this is just a really action-packed story here. But Spider-Man and the Kingpin basically end the fight in a tie here. We see that the Spot is going to go away, and the Black Cat is waiting, and she's waiting for her spider. She's waiting for the man that she loves, but she's like, how can I continue to romantically be with him when I know that my bad luck powers could affect him and cause the death of him? And so Spider-Man doesn't know this about Black Cat's powers. She is going to reveal to Spider-Man finally that she went to Wilson Fisk to get these powers while he was gone. And this is going to cause the breakup of Spider-Man and the Black Cat. Finally, Black Cat and Spider-Man have broken up after almost a year of a relationship. And, Spider-Man is the one that kind of breaks the ties here. She was actually going to do the breaking up, but Spider-Man is the one that broke up with her. They go their separate ways here. And this will be kind of the last time that Spider-Man and Black Cat team up for a long time. But what's most important about the ending of this issue is that symbiote costume has snaked its way into the closet of Spider-Man. And so Peter Parker doesn't know that symbiote suit is lurking in the corner right there. And this issue is where we're going to end off 1984. And in 1985, Web of Spider-Man #1 takes place right after this issue. And so there you have it, folks. That's everything you need to know about the life of Spider-Man in 1984. And this ends the year-end review here. I think 1984 was a great year for Spider-Man overall. And it definitely had some big changes as Spider-Man coped with that new symbiote suit. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see y'all in the next one.